Hi everybody, I'm Valerie and welcome back to IELTS Grader. With the coronavirus continuing to be an ongoing problem all over the world, the IELTS Indicator test has stepped in to help people continue to pursue their academic goals. However, the Indicator exam is not a replacement for the IELTS exam itself. So, you probably have some questions about why take the IELTS Indicator exam. I'm going to go over why, even if you take the IELTS Indicator exam, you may also need to sit for the regular IELTS exam at a test center. Now, to compare the IELTS Indicator exam with the actual IELTS exam itself. Now, the two exams are identical in terms of content. You have the same amount of time and the same test format for the reading, listening, writing, and speaking. The only difference with the speaking section is that you'll talk with your examiner over Zoom. Now, before you sign up for the IELTS Indicator exam, be sure to check that it's available in your country. If, in your country, IELTS test centers are open, you will not be able to take the IELTS Indicator exam online. The big difference between the IELTS Indicator exam and the in-person IELTS exam is going to be the surroundings you have when you take the exam. Because you're taking the exam at home, you can set yourself up for success as best as possible, but it's never going to be exactly like taking the exam in the test center. As such, there could be other factors like your environment, if there's extra noise in the background, that could affect how you perform on the exam and therefore your scores. That's why the IELTS Indicator exam is called an indicator. It represents what you could have gotten if you had taken the exam in person under those ideal proctored big community of test taker experience. In terms of technology, the IELTS exam has two ways to proctor you as you take the exam. They will do video and audio monitoring of you while you take the exam, as well as ask you to download a safe exam browser that locks your computer so that the only thing that you can access is the exam itself. So, what does this mean for your results? Because of the points that we just talked about, universities might not see your IELTS Indicator scores as the most comprehensive example of what you're capable of. This is the reason that some universities don't accept the IELTS Indicator score at all, preferring to have the standardization of the sit-in IELTS exam as your overall score, as that rating of your ability. Sometimes, universities might take that IELTS Indicator score, but then once you are able to, ask you to take the IELTS sit-down in-person exam to corroborate the score that you got on the Indicator test. Now, make sure to look up what your university wants from you in terms of scoring. You can check the official IELTS Indicator website for a comprehensive list of the universities and colleges that accept the IELTS indicator as an official IELTS score. What I recommend, though, is giving your university or college a call on the phone just to double check what they want from you. You can always check their website, the official university or college website, and or the IELTS Indicator official website, but it can never hurt to talk to a person from that school just to hear it from the horse's mouth and get complete confirmation. How can you set yourself up to do the best you can on the IELTS Indicator exam? Well, there are a couple of things that you should keep in mind. The exam has some specific technological restrictions that you need to follow in order to take the test. For example, you cannot use a tablet or your mobile phone to take the exam. You need to use a physical computer or laptop. Additionally, you need to download the Safe Exam browser and also have Zoom installed on your computer so that you can take the speaking portion of the exam. Speaking of computers and speaking, your computer needs to have a camera so that you can be proctored and so that your examiner can see you while you're doing the speaking portion of the exam. You need to have loudspeakers or headphones in order to do the listening section of the exam. And you also need to have a microphone so that your examiner can hear you when you're doing the speaking part of the exam. You'll also want to check your email regularly for updates from the British Council about your online exam, especially because they will likely get into contact with you regarding when your speaking exam will take place. You definitely don't want to miss that. When you get all your emails and you're preparing to go and set yourself up for the exam, the day before, I recommend testing everything you're using to take the exam at least once so that you know you're definitely not going to run into any problems in the middle of the exam. As for the IELTS Indicator exam itself, like we said, the content of the exam is exactly the same as the in-person sit-down exam. So, if you're prepared for that, you're all set to go. And if you need some more practice on your writing Task 2 essay, check out IELTSgrader.ai for more practice and tips and tricks to help you ace that section of the exam.